The Blues and the Sharks all of a sudden are the inferior teams to
the
Stormers.
Bulls. The Bulls.
And I just said that.
You said the Blues. You said the Blues.
He said Bulls.
He said the Blues.
Shut up, Matt.
He said the Blues.
Quit interrupting the king.
This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained?
Thank you. But table the applause because we were mediocre at best. But hey, today's a new day, and we move forward. With that, there's John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer turned rugby advocate, along with King Gift Egbelu, the inventor of words, and Mike Friday, the three-time Olympic sevens coach, and George Hook, the Irish rugby legend, all here to address what's on that slate. So let's get to it. Guys, 52 and 52, not the greatest of weeks that we had. I don't know why we're laughing about it, but, thankfully, JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, salvaged our week by going 16 and 10. So thank you, John. Thank you.
And I'm down with the clown. Got my Insane Clown Posse shirt on, my Insane Clown Posse hanger. We had the Insane Clown Posse on our podcast recently. I'm down with the clown. Down with the clown. They hate you, Matt. Juggalos hate you. Juggalos are the fans of Insane Clown Posse, and they all hate you, Matt. That's why I love them. I love the Juggalos.
That was just such a seamless plug. Nobody even noticed. And there's Mike. He's one of the Insane Posse. Here you go.
You got the clown.
You got the posse. All right, John, while you're on fire, what observations did you make this weekend?
I said Anthem sucked, and apparently either Miami does too or Anthem doesn't suck. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they ran up a bunch of scores on Miami. They should have won the game. Miami looked terrible. They had a kicker kick a ball off the tee, Matt, that looked like you. I mean, literally, he kicked it about 3 feet. It was god-awful. I don't know what is wrong.
He made contact.
He made contact, but the only thing he did right. And look, Utah's legit. San Diego's legit. Old Glory is as well, but I think the best two teams right now, it looks like, certainly San Diego and Utah.
Mike?
Mate, URC. Ospreys away from home. Glasgow, 15.5 points favourites. Ospreys go there, did a job without their Superman Jack Morgan as well. That's impressive for the Ospreys to go away. Probably very cold in Glasgow, a lot like Cape Town, and nick the win.
You know what, Friday?
That Cape Town is freezing. I mean, they're selling parkas. I've actually got, look at this.
Thanks, nice going, Mike. Way to take
I've got a parka for Cape Town, and it's also an Insane Clown Posse parka. I got a parka for Cape Town. I'm down with the clown in Cape Town.
There it is. Gift.
Look, there was a couple things. One, I mean, shout out to Utah for absolutely demolishing the Gold in like the last 20 minutes of the game. Like, how do you just score back to back to back? That was painful to watch. But kudos to them. Everybody gets one. But the real one was the switchover that's going on in South Africa. The Stormers and the Lions actually getting wins over the Bulls and the Sharks over again. Like, it's craziness. And Khaleesi was even playing. I don't even understand what's going on, man.
Well, he got a garbage try in the 80th minute, Khaleesi did. So,
hey, off of a great offload as well, too.
Please.
You get credit where credit is due.
Wait. How many tries have you gotten in professional rugby, Matt? How many have you gotten in professional rugby?
In my head?
You're calling somebody else that's a great player a garbage try against 15 professional players that are 15 the best in the world? Because of all your tries in professional rugby, you freaking hate and troll.
No.
You are not down with the clown.
Fair enough. Well, I got an observation because I was on the pitch for the Old Glory versus San Diego game and in 40-mile-per-hour winds and freezing cold. And I got news for you, Mike. That made a big difference. San Diego, you got to tip your cap to them. They flew across the country for the second week in a row. No captain's run. Came out there into the freezing conditions. Old Glory won the coin toss. They had the win at their back. San Diego withstood all of it. And I got to tell you something. I'm 5'10", 190 pounds, and those guys are enormous. It's unbelievable, the size, the speed when you're right there. It's crazy. San Diego, they are, as John said, legit. Let's move on to our recurring segment, Player of the Week. The nominees are Joey Mano, winger of the upstart Warriors. Mano had the hat trick as Gift's Mountain People dominated the Undersea Levelers. Eric Storty of the Anthem, the touted rookie draft pick out of St. Mary's, lived up to the billing, earning Miami's respect with a try that combined power, nifty moves, and quickness. And Seattle's number 7, Devin Short, 22 tackles and the go-ahead try in Seattle's tough loss down in Houston. John, who do you like?
Wait a minute. I think King had a suggestion.
Yeah, look. And we give it to the people that actually take care of us as well, all right? Shout out to Paul Sheehy's son, absolutely getting an amazing between the tackles, breaking it through for a great try at the end of that Old Glory game, all right? Putting Old Glory in position to not look terrible.
Okay.
Bam.
Okay. You
that
idiots.
right there who I was going with.
You idiots.
I
Didn't
just
look at
my
the...
Sheehy Volkswagen. Great service. Great people. Paul Sheehy's a neighbor. I love him. His son wins player of the week, maybe the month, and the freaking decade.
Boom. Generational greatness.
Okay. Gift. You did in the pre-production meeting say that you wanted to bring him in as a grown-ass man candidate, and John just jumped the gun and made him a player of the week.
Maybe he's in both.
We'll go both.
Bam!
You do both.
Mike,
Bam!
who's your player of the week? Mike?
Obviously, I thought Sheehy's boy did good. But I can't look past the hat-trick man, Joey Mano. He is a class man with ball in hand. He's got dancing feet, and it's great to see him back on form after a quiet year last year. But, yeah, Joey Mano for me, the man from Utah.
Excellent. Gift?
Yeah, man. Mano absolutely destroyed New Orleans. I'll give it to them for destroying New Orleans.
John?
I've already told you. I'm giving it to Sheehy's boy. What, did you not listen to any of this? Did you not listen to your own self talking about it?
What?
Please, play back the show.
What?
All
right. Again, I'm left to break the tie, and I am going to break that tie indeed. I am going with Joey Mano of the Warriors as this week's player of the week.
Well, you did not go with Sheehy's son.
All right, John is muted so we can get to Gift's favorite segment.
Grown-ass man!
The candidates are Houston's hooker, Anae-Ah Sue, who played 80 minutes, had a winning try, 14 tackles, and 3 turnovers won. San Diego's number 7, the flanker's ginger hair, was on fire as he added a try to his 20 tackles in a standout performance. JBL's height challenge colleague, whom John hit with a garbage can for not pressing charges or filing a lawsuit. And number 16 and 17 of Zebre, as they combine to blast the number 3 of Dragons back to next week. Mike, who do you like?
Well, it's definitely not the Zebre 2, because that took 2 of them to knock one bloke off. So I'm going for Fiery Ginger from San Diego, Brad Wilkin, big old lump, 20 tackles, got a try, tough place to go and win, and they did the job, Legion. Looks like the ginger man was leading from the front.
And he also said he was very cold, Mike. He did say he was very cold.
Well, he would be, because he's ginger as well. I mean, that's tough on a lot of levels.
It is. John?
I'm going with the ginger man as well, because you make it like a big deal, like a guy plays 80 minutes. The game's 80 minutes.
The hooker.
To play. And also, the guy hit with a trash can was taller than you, Matt.
Gift.
Look, man, this is a great list, especially the little person that got absolutely blown up by a trash can. But nothing is going to take out Brian Sheehy for breaking 3 tackles and getting in for the try to put Old Glory slightly on the board. All right? Shout out to the Sheehy name, continuing generational talent.
Right.
Yes.
Brian Sheehy is my pal that coaches up here with CBA and New York Athletic Club and played for the New York Rugby Club. Owen Sheehy is the son of Paul Sheehy.
Him too.
Owen Sheehy also. Bam.
All the Sheehys get it.
All the Sheehys get grown-ass man.
I'm going to break this tie again, and it's going to be San Diego's Brad
You're not going Sheehy again.
Brad Wilkin of San Diego
is this week's grown-ass man.
Stay classy, San Diego. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, bring in George Hook, and then bring you guys back for picks and more after this.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
And we're back with George Hook. George, we just spoke off camera about a couple of things, and I just got to have you weigh in briefly. Number one, congratulations on your 56th wedding anniversary, but unfortunately you have a broken toe.
Yeah, I crashed it off a concrete step. I don't know whether it's broken, but it's in pretty bad shape, and I cannot get a shoe on. The 56th wedding anniversary is interesting because it should have been 2 days ago, but I cancelled the wedding for a rugby match.
Of course you canceled. Of course. All right, so George, we got a lot to talk about in a little bit of time. Let's get to our segment.
Headlines with Hook.
The first headline, Ringrose's red card. How does it affect Ireland versus France?
Well, there are two things about it, actually. One, Ringrose, I think, is the best number 13 in the world. So therefore, of course, it affects the situation. Ireland are lucky to have Henshaw and Bundyaki in the centre, but they won't have Ringrose either as a backup or as a first choice. So, of course, it will affect them. However, the nonsense of it is Ringrose hasn't seen a card, red, yellow, or black, in years. And now he's going back to tackle school. They've reduced 4-match ban to 3 and then to 2 on the basis that he's going to go to tackle school.
Yeah.
Give me a break. One of the best centres in the world, send him back to tackle school. It's horse manure. But the interesting thing, the French are upset because Intermac, just the way it worked out, Intermac missed 2 games, whereas Ringrose is only going to miss 1. It's Six Nations, that is.
Do you think the impact of Ringrose is too much to overcome a 1.5 point favorite that the Irish are?
Like 1.5 is essentially a dead heat. So the thing is which France is this? That has never been more applicable than this weekend. Which France are going to turn up? If it's the France against Italy, then look out at Ireland. If it's the France of the previous week, then they're awful. This is France who can afford to drop Damien Penaud, who may be the best in the world. They have Dupont. They've got the best goal kicker in the championship. A lot of the pluses, I have to say, are with France. The Irish scrum does not exude confidence. So therefore, there could be a lot of penalties flying around the place. But I tell you, 1.5 points is nothing. This is going to be as good as it gets, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, 2 of the best backlines in the championship. 2 teams who play rugby the way it's supposed to be played. You got to think this is the match. The other 2, Scotland will hockey Wales. And England might find Italy difficult.
Yeah.
Italy, for all the trouble France gave them in the shape of 70-odd points, are a good team. Good midfield, good out half, good pack, good open side flanker. They could trouble England. Again, are England getting better or not? I don't know.
I got to go back to the Irish versus France match. I would kill to be at Aviva Stadium for that match. That place is going to be rocking. The town's going to be rocking. I'm so jealous of you people over there. All right, moving on to the next headline, George. Leinster, one of the Irish representatives in the pro rugby setup, URC, versus Dragons, one of the Welsh representatives in the URC, going in different directions.
Leinster played 12 games, won 12. Then the Dragons have played 12, lost 11. And the last 11 were in succession. Nobody takes pleasure from this.
Yeah.
And the Welsh team, Zebre are doing better than the Dragons. Benetton are doing better than the Dragons. So, that's where, now not all the Welsh teams are terrible. Cardiff weren't bad this weekend, but they were still hockeyed by Leinster. Because they put up a good show, we were sort of saying, isn't it wonderful, isn't it wonderful? But all Cardiff were doing was putting up a good show.
Yeah.
That's all. With, and this is important, with something, and I stand to be corrected, but with something like 7 to 9 international players. This was Leinster.
C.
wasn't even their B team.
Yeah.
I know I'm not as well up on rugby as I used to be in my youth, but there were names I didn't even recognize.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Like there was a kid, a hooker came on who was literally a child. I mean,
A man-child. If you're a hooker, you're a man-child. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But there you have it. Wales going one direction, Ireland going the other.
Why doesn't the Welsh Rugby Union and why don't Wales just consolidate those 4 teams into 2 teams like Scotland?
There will be too many vested interests, I suspect. You can have the union looking for one thing, and then remember, the union is made up of representatives from those very clubs. There's too much politics in play. I don't think it'll happen.
That's foolish. Seems from the outside, it seems foolish. Okay, final headline. Rugby League versus Rugby Union in the USA.
Well, last time we spoke with the nonsense rules in American Rugby Union about the scrum, interestingly, last weekend, 45,000 rugby league fans crammed into Sun City, Las Vegas, to watch a rugby league tournament. Interestingly, it was a crap rugby league tournament. There wasn't a meaningful game in it. 45,000 people. The Vegas authorities think it generated 100 million for the city. Do any of us think that rugby union could generate 100 million in Vegas? If American Rugby Union does not bring some imagination to bear on the problem, they are doomed.
We do have Ireland versus New Zealand at Soldier Field, a rematch of their classic of, I think, 2016, and that's going to be sold out Soldier Field.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. But, that's not going to hack it, Look, Jack Clark, the great Jack Clark, famously said a long time ago when he got a television deal, he said, America has more televisions than anywhere other country in the world. So if we can get the game on television, we're going to generate money and we're going to generate publicity. Have we done that? No, we haven't. American rugby has to go a direction in which it generates money.
And on that note, George, that's this week's
Headlines with Hook.
Thank you, George.
Thanks.
You need your cleats? You need them tomorrow? If you order today by 3 p.m. New York time or noon LA time, they can have them to you tomorrow. Young, old, male, female, if you're playing on turf, if you're playing on grass, if you're playing in the rain, you're playing in the heat, they've got you covered. RugbyNow.com. Go there now.
And we're back, and it's ironic that George was actually hanging out with the Clown Posse as well. But let's go to our Six Nations picks, John, and since you're primed, who do you like? Ireland, -1.5 versus France.
I have great friends. Patrick Callow from Ireland, James O'Shaughnessy from Ireland. I used to always root for Ireland until I met you. Same as everybody else that's ever met you, Matt. Now everybody hates the Emerald Isle because of you, so I'm not betting on Ireland. I'm going to bet on France. I think the worst thing to happen to Ireland was England beating France because something woke up with the boys over there, and they boat raced the Italians. They're coming for blood. I think they win.
Gift.
I've had a lot of appreciation for Ireland over the last couple of years, but I think not having Farrell coaching kind of shifted with France actually seeming like they're trying to actually win consistently, especially after that England game. I think 1.5 points is it's not a fair one. France is just, their talent is kicking in. They're going to probably say a lot of their poetry, eat some cheese and crackers in the locker room, dominate.
Bam.
Okay. However you get there, you got there. Mike?
There's a lot of passion with the Irish. Last home game, O'Mahony, Healy,
Murray.
and Conor Murray. But I just think with Entomac coming back in, Penno probably back fit, Ramos and Dupont are running riot, and the depth and the pack and what they can bring on. We don't know whether Doris is fit. We don't know if Furlong's fit. I just think France are on a roll. I think France win.
Yeah. Well, you all make very valid points, but
Oh, go ahead, you sycophant. Suck up Ireland.
I'm going with my heart. And I'm a dual citizen. I'm going with
England.
Ireland.
England. That's right. He's going with England. I didn't know he was a triple threat.
You
England
guys. Okay, moving right along. Scotland given 16.5 at Murrayfield to Wales. John, you're Scottish. I suppose you're going to pick the Scots now, right?
Oh, yes, I want to pick the Scots because I think they boat raced them boys from the South. Look, they played much better. I think got a different coach. I don't know seemed like a different team. I think the Scots roll over them. The Scots looked terrible against England. They should have won that game. Inexplicable that Finn Russell was the one that missed 3 kicks. I think they respond to this game and they run them out of the stadium.
If a plane crashes on the border of Scotland and Wales, where do they bury the survivors, John?
I hope you're in it is all I care. That's what I hope. I hope you're in the plane.
Anyway, Gift.
Hey, look, man, Wales has got a coach that's clearly a little bit more connected to the players, but they're not there. This isn't the year for Wales. Scotland is going to come through. They have the talent. They'll bounce back from a bad game. They're not about to let Wales take over on them. They had Italy do that last year already. They're not going back-to-back with that. 16.5 is probably not enough. Scotland wins this one, covers the points, and all the above.
Mike.
I think these two teams are quite suited. They both want to play fast ruck games. I think Scotland win, but I don't think they cover the 16.5.
I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. And you know what? You're the only one on this panel that knows anything, so why not? Right? Let's move on to England versus John's England.
That's why Mike's going to be the first-round pick for 2 cents rugby.
He's already taken the Wales job, so just settle down. England minus 22.5. John's England minus 22.5 versus Gift's Italy. John, who do you like?
Great point that Coach Friday brought up about the last game when he had France destroy the Italians. The Italians didn't play bad. France was that good. Italians have gotten better. I don't think they can play with England. I think they might cover. So I'm going to take the Italians to cover. I think England beats them. I don't think there's any doubt about that. England plays hard. They're going to play fast, but I think the Italians respond after getting killed by France and play much better. But I don't think they're going to win.
Gift.
Man, I like the Italy's coach, man. This Argentinian guy, I think he's bringing a good culture to Italy. The young guys have already had that experience of U20s and winning. I do think that my 22.5 is a little much. I think Italy will be able to at least beat the spread a little bit, but it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a close game at all, but I think 22.5 might just be a tad bit over, probably at 21-20, something to that effect. So Italy covers, England wins.
Mike.
I mean, I'd love it if England scored 22 points.
Good point.
I mean, we're struggling to score points at the moment. I think England win, but I don't think they win by 22.5. I think Italy, as John said, they played decent against France. They just got the shit kicked out of them. But they're a decent team, and I think they'll cause England problems for 40, 50 minutes. And I think England win, but they don't cover.
Amazing, because this is an historic moment in the rugby odds, the TRO history-making moment, because this will be the first time that all four panel members all agree on a Six Nations pick, and I am going with Italy.
Well, we always know you were going to go with England anyways, even though you're trying to hate on them. So
we knew it. Yeah, you're a dual citizen.
That wasn't really surprising.
I'm going with England.
Yeah, dual citizen. You're a dual citizen with Hoboken.
I'm going to England to not cover the point spread, so I'm going with Italy. On that note,
Manchester or Liverpool you're from.
On that note, we're making a switch to this side of the pond, guys, and we're going to each pick one MLR match. John, who do you like?
San Diego. They're going to run them boys out of the stadium. The only chance LA has of beating San Diego is if San Diego misses the bus.
Mike.
I'm going for Utah. I think it's impressive last week. They're at home. They're flying high. They're a good crew. Houston are still finding their feet. They got some decent players. Rufus McLean debuted last week for them, but I just think on the road they're going to struggle at Utah. So Utah.
Gift.
Chicago going up against Miami. I think Chicago finally found a fly half that actually works. And man, look at them to absolutely destroy Miami, because what they did to New England was criminal.
Whoa. That was felonious. That was somebody should get served prison time for that. They beat them so bad.
And the Anthem lost that game. Miami didn't win that game. And I'm going to go with DC because Paul Sheehy owns DC, and I have the Sheehy Auto Stores car.
Even though you didn't pick his son.
Don't start sucking up to him now. You threw off his whole son away.
DC,
You're not going to bounce him back.
-7 versus the Anthem, and it's easy at Sheehy.com.
You dissed his son.
Let's take a break and we'll be back with our picks.
He's
of the
going to
week.
hate you forever. He's my neighbor. I'm going to tell him, B.
And let's take a break and we'll be back with the lone URC pick and our picks of the week after this.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Hey, U.S. fans, you can tune into every match live on Flow Rugby. How do we know that? Because we're on there all the time. And we are back. And guys, there's one lone URC match, and it's Sharks versus Lions. Sharks at home, -4. These are TRO spreads. Gift.
The Lions will cover this one. The injuries are too much. Clearly, the Sharks are just limping to something. Maybe they're just waiting for internationals, but look for the Lions to cover.
John.
I'm with the King. The Sharks got all that talent last year. They didn't win last year either. So I don't know what's wrong with the Sharks. They got great talent. They got some of the best backs in rugby. They got one of the toughest enforcers in rugby, and they're just not winning games. So I'm going with the Lions also.
Mike.
I'm with John and the King. Lions to cover.
I'm going to go against the tide. I'm going to go with the Sharks. I think they might get some bodies back. I think they're humiliated, and I think they win this game. Now it's time for John's favorite segment, Picks of the Week. Who do you like, Johnny?
Give me DC. I'm not sold on the Anthem. They played really well, offensively at least, against Miami. I thought they looked terrible. But Anthem did have a chance of winning that game. They should have won that game. But give me DC at home. I think they're going to run them out of the park.
Gift.
Yo, look at it. Seattle versus New England. This is apparently the revenge tour for last year, and everybody's trying to get their punches in. Look for Seattle to be able to cover on that score because I don't know if New England is the same team they were last. They're not. They don't have McDonald alone. They're not the same team. Everybody's going to get their nut punches in.
And the nut punchers win. Mike, who do you like?
I'm going for the overs in the Ireland-France game. I think there'll be points. So I think they'll be over I think it's 47 and a half. I think
45 and a half was the last line.
Right, I'll go for the overs. Over 45 and a half. Definitely that's going to be cumulatively. Obviously the French are going to score more, but I think it's going to be over.
All right, I'm going to go with the over in the Sharks versus Lions match in the URC. And just like that, gentlemen, we're out of time.
Thank God.
I want to thank John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Fame return rugby advocate, King Gift Egbelu, the inventor of words, Mike Friday, the 3-time Olympic sevens coach, George Hook, the Irish legend. Thank you for tuning in. Please check out our other shows, including MLR Weekly. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, sign up for our weekly newsletter, and please join our American Red Cross blood donor team.
Oh my God, how many things are you selling?
She Heal Automobiles, call us.
That's right. Call us. 2 Cents Rugby, call us.